Papa, it's feel like you Malcolm. Yeah.
Hello everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing? Today I'm not going to be doing my normal videos, my normal top 10 videos or hot takes. I am going to be talking about something very serious and something really important. With the recent incident that happened in the Benfica game versus Benfica versus Real Madrid game involving Gianluca Prestiani and Vinicius Junior. I've had some conversations with people and I've told people this, and I think it's high time I make a video about it. And I've also seen someone like I've seen Nicolas Jackson say something that is very similar to what I'm about to say. I think we have been fighting this thing, racism, in a very wrong way. Because first of all, what is racism though? I'm a black person talking to you. I'm a black person. I'm an African living in Africa. And I think that we Africans that are black people living in Africa that grew up in this culture and environment, we have a duty of correcting our fellow black people who didn't have the opportunity to grow up in Africa. Because I don't understand why someone calls you a monkey. Now, this I need you to get this very serious. I understand that this is a very sensitive topic, and I'm very much aware of that. But I think the truth must have to be told here. We should stop always crying and running to referees when someone calls you something that you're not. I mean, if, for example, like I understand that I've never been racially abused. I don't think I can be racially abused. That's the whole point of this video. I don't think anyone anywhere in this world can be able to racially abuse me, because what the like, I don't want to use the F word. Someone called you a black monkey. Are you a black monkey? You are not a black monkey. Do you look like one? You definitely don't look like a black monkey. You don't look like a monkey. So why are you crying to the referee? Why are you crying to the FAs? Why are you crying to everybody, looking for sympathy, looking for people to pity you, making it look like being a black person is a bad thing? This is not directly to Vinny. I'm just using this as an example because it's the most recent one. And it has happened quite a few times with Vinny. I don't agree with people saying why it's always Vinny. I don't agree with that. But what I'm saying is this: if we must stop racism, we must have to start with letting these people know that whatever you are saying to me does not affect me. How does it affect you? It only affects you if you believe that you look like a monkey. For example, if a white guy calls you a black monkey, you call him a yellow pig or something like that. You call him a redneck. You call him a white trash. When we start doing things like this, I think racism is going to stop in football. In less than 2 years, there is not going to be anything like racism in football again. I remember when we were growing up, like there's this thing like maybe you have a big head when you were younger, and maybe people are calling you big head, and you're always fighting. When you keep fighting about being called big head, it's never going to stop. It's never going to go away. People are going to like you have made people to understand that this is a weakness for you. So if I have an issue with you, if I call you a big head, I know that I got you, because you're going to get angry. You're going to start crying. You understand? But when I call you a big head and you look at me and just laugh at me, that look at what she's saying. I'm not a big head, by the way. Like I don't know if you are getting me. I think the tag being black, why is there discriminating black people? Why are you feeling inferior? This is inferiority complex. This is the definition of inferiority complex, because I don't understand why every single time we have seen, yes, I know that there are some things that I consider racism, to be honest, like the abuse, the like there's sometimes the black players are being targeted in some way. I understand that, and that is bad. But crying to the referees, crying to the FAs, crying to people, telling everyone, come, hey, he's called me a black monkey. What is that? This is a narrative that have been planted in our head so that the black race will continue being mocked for no reason. Why are you crying? Why are you angry because someone called you something that you're not? Vinicius Junior, you do not look like a monkey. So if somebody called you a monkey, you tell them that you're not a monkey. If you choose peace, if you don't choose peace, you call them whatever they are not that you don't like. Because after all, you're not a monkey. Let us stop always crying about this. Like, crying about is the worst way to handle it. Crying about being racially abused is the worst way to handle it. We should stop making ourselves inferior to these people. You give them the power to dictate how you feel. I'm not encouraging people to verbally abuse people in the field of play, but let's end racism by standing against it, by standing for ourselves. Let's end racism by speaking up for ourselves, by fighting back, not by crying to the referees, not by crying to the FA, not by looking for self-pity. And then you continue making the headlines. Now, coming to the case of Vinicius Junior and Gianluca Prestini. What happened? It has only given Gianluca Prestini the biggest population that he could ever get in his life, because prior to this game, me as a football analyst does not even know him. I did not even know that there was a player that's called Gianluca Prestiani. Vinicius just made him popular. I'm not blaming Vinicius, but I'm just saying this whole system, the whole idea of always crying to referees, always looking for this, always saying, oh yeah, he racially abused me, he called me a black monkey, oh look at him, he called me a black monkey. What is that? It doesn't make any sense to me. It only means that you are not proud of your color. It only means that you believe that something is wrong with your color, and that is not true. The more you cry about being racially abused, the more you cry about being called a black monkey, the more you make it seem like it is true that there is something wrong with your skin. There is absolutely nothing wrong with being a black person. So stop crying about being called a black monkey, because you're not a black monkey. It's just like for example, like I'm passing on the road and someone calls me a thief. I'll call him a kidnapper, I'll call him whatever I choose to call him. You defend yourself, not by crying to the referees, not by always making this a big deal. Let's stop making ourselves inferior to the whole world, to the rest of the world, like being a black person is somehow a negative or somehow demeaning. This is just what I want to. I don't normally do this. I don't normally talk about things that are trending. I don't normally talk about. I just focus on doing top 10 videos and doing football hot takes. But I just think as a black person that have an idea about, so like, this is how I feel about this. I do not think it makes any sense at all to always cry to referees, always cry to the FAs, always looking for sympathy where there's no need for it. If you call me a black monkey, man, I'm not a black monkey. I don't feel like somebody like me, Jideofor Emeka Oduaka. There is nobody in this world that will be able to racially abuse me. There is not a single human being in this world that will be able to racially abuse me. You know why? Because I don't even believe in what you're saying. So how does it affect me? The likes of Vinicius and Co and the other guys that are crying about this is because they believe that there is something wrong with being black. That's the only way I see it. You are discriminating yourself. So I think like we should, if we really want to end this rubbish in football, we should start standing against those people that feels is the right way to communicate. This is all I have to say about this. Tell me what you think in the comment section. I know this is going to cause a lot of divided opinion. I know this is sensitive, but I'm just being bluntly honest with you. As a black person, I know you're not going to call me a racist. If a white man is making this video, a lot of people are going to, I'm sure it's going to go viral. If a white man makes the video that I'm making now, it's going to go viral, and a lot of people are going to label him a racism. It's not a racism. I am not a racism. I'm a black person, as you can see. But it does not make any sense at all. If you are doing it to stop racism, you are never going to achieve it by always crying about it, making people want to target you the more. I don't have any problem with Vinicius celebrating in front of the fans. Matheus Cunha, a Manchester United player, did it in Emirates, in front of the Emirates Stadium. He was not abused. I'm not among those people saying, why is it always Vinicius? Why? No, I know. I'm not even. It is even ridiculous to say that he's lying. Why do you think he's lying? The Gianluca Pastini that you're talking about, has he ever come out to say what he said, or is he claiming that he didn't say anything? So I get mad about. I didn't want to talk about it at first, but I think it's really, really important that we address this. We should stop making ourselves unnecessary victims. Thank you very much, and see you on the next video.